He called himself a saint. He commanded an empire of devotion, hundreds of ashrams, millions of followers, and billions of rupees. For decades, Asram Bapu was untouchable. Politicians sought his blessings. Police hesitated to act. And when a 16-year-old girl dared to speak the truth, his machine tried to silence her with threats, with bribes, and with blood. After 13 years of legal battle, India's highest courts have spoken. The Rajasthan High Court has upheld Asaram's life imprisonment and ordered him to surrender. This is the story of how one girl's courage brought down a godman. Hello and welcome to our special show Postmortem, where we put the spotlight on the crimes that shock us but make us want to know more and more. Asumal Sirumalani Harpalani, better known to the world as Asram Bapu, built one of modern India's most sprawling spiritual empires. Born in 1941 in what is now Pakistan's Sindh province, he rose from a small-town preacher to a self-styled godman with an estimated 400 ashrams across India and beyond, a following of nearly 50 million devotees, and assets running into thousands of crores. He was celebrated. He was powerful. Chief ministers attended his programs. His ashrams ran schools, hospitals, and gurukuls. Millions considered him God's representative on earth. But beneath those pious robes and the sandalwood incense, something dark was festering. Former associates would try and later testify to illegal land grabs, financial fraud, the suspicious deaths of two young boys inside an ashram. All these cases that were hushed up, witnesses that were paid off. And then came the night that could not be hushed, the night of August 15th, 2013, Independence Day. While the rest of India lit up with celebrations, a 16-year-old girl at the Manai Ashram near Jodhpur was summoned to meet the godman alone. Her parents were devoted disciples of the ashram. They trusted him completely. What happened next would shatter their faith and shake a nation. The girl was a student at ashram's Gurukul. She had been living there for years, away from her family. On the night of August 15th, she was told the godman wished to see her. He said she was possessed by evil spirits. He said only he could cure her. According to the girl's account, which the court accepted, what followed was not a spiritual ritual. It was sexual assault. 6 days later, her parents filed a complaint in Delhi. The medical examination confirmed that the girl had told them. A rape case was registered and the FIR was transferred to Jodhpur police. Now the machine immediately swung into action. Asaram's followers issued denials. His spokesperson called it a conspiracy. His lawyers moved courts. His supporters blocked roads and threatened to shut down cities if their guru was even touched. But the police moved faster. On August 31st, 2013, officers arrested Asaram from an ashram near Indore and flew him to Jodhpur. For the first time in his life, the godman was in handcuffs. What followed the arrest was not just a legal battle. It was a war of attrition waged by a godman's empire against the Indian justice system and against anyone brave enough to testify. The charge sheet was filed on November 5th, 2013. But by then, the intimidation had already begun. Akhilesh Gupta, a former associate who was willing to testify, was suddenly dead. Amrut Prajapati, an Ayurveda doctor and former aide who had made damning allegations about deaths at the ashram, was shot in Rajkot. He died from his wounds 2 weeks later. Mahendra Chawla, a key witness and former personal assistant to Asaram's son, Narayan Sai, was shot by 2 men on a motorcycle in his village in Haryana. He survived but was left partially disabled. Rahul Sachan, another witness who had filed an affidavit with the Supreme Court, vanished without a trace 3 months later. His fate remains unknown till now. 3 witnesses dead or missing. 5 others attacked. Even senior police officers leading the investigation apparently received death threats. Human Rights Watch documented the pattern in a scathing 2018 report, warning that the Asaram case exposed a catastrophic failure in India's witness protection framework. Through all of this, the girl and her family stood firm. The trial dragged on for nearly 5 years. On April 25, 2018, in an extraordinary measure, the verdict was delivered inside Jodhpur jail itself, a security decision given the volatile environment that was existing outside. Special Judge Madhusudan Sharma found Asaram guilty of rape under the Indian Penal Code, sexual exploitation under the POCSO Act, and violations under the Juvenile Justice Act. The sentence? Life imprisonment till the last breath of his natural life. Co-accused Shilpi, also known as Sanchita, and Sharat Chandra, Asaram's attendants at the ashram that night, were each sentenced to 20 years of rigorous imprisonment. For the victim and her family, who had lived for 5 years under the shadow of threats and fear, it was a moment of vindication. But the legal battle was far from over. Asaram and his co-accused immediately challenged the verdict in the Rajasthan High Court. From 2018 to 2024, Asaram remained incarcerated in Jodhpur jail. He filed dozens of bail petitions in lower courts, the High Court, and even the Supreme Court. Hearings stretched over days, arguments were lengthy and elaborate. His legal team, which included senior advocates, tried every possible avenue for bail. For 6 years, every single court said no. Then in March 2024, for the first time, a court granted him bail, but only for 10 days, strictly for medical treatment at a private hospital in Jodhpur. He was 73 years old, and his lawyers argued his health was failing. Those 10 days became the opening of a door. In the months that followed, bail was extended again and again, each time for medical reasons, each time for just limited periods. By May 2026, Asaram was out on interim medical bail, which had been extended just now until July 7th. Now the question everyone was asking, what would the High Court say? On Wednesday, May 27, 2026, the division bench of Justice Arun Kumar Monga and Justice Yogendra Kumar Purohit pronounced their judgment. It was not a complete acquittal. It was not a complete dismissal. The bench delivered a split verdict on the charges. On the more serious charges, gang rape under the IPC and the aggravated provisions of the POCSO Act related to gang penetrative sexual assault, as well as criminal conspiracy, the High Court granted Asaram relief. It declined to hold him guilty under those specific sections. However, and this is the critical part, the bench upheld the conviction and the sentence on the core charges: rape under the IPC, sexual exploitation under the POCSO Act, and violations of the Juvenile Justice Act. The appeal against the sentence was dismissed. Life imprisonment till the end of natural life stands. Asaram's co-accused, Sharat Chandra and Sanchita, were completely acquitted by the High Court. The court ordered Asaram to surrender immediately. In 13 years of courtrooms, appeals, bail petitions, threats, and intimidation, the sentence that was handed down inside Jodhpur jail in 2018 has survived. The girl who spoke up on the night of August 15, 2013 has been heard again.
हाई कोर्ट की डिवीजन बेंच ने एक लंबी सुनवाई के पश्चात अपना निर्णय सुरक्षित रखते हुए सुना दिया है। निर्णय के अनुसार जो को एक्यूज थे संचिता और शरद, उन दोनों को एक्विट किया है। अभी आसाराम की सजा को 376D, 120D, 134 तक की हद तक हटाकर बाकी सारे जो ट्रायल कोर्ट ने जो कन्विक्शन किया था उस कन्विक्शन को एज सच रखा है।
Now this case has always been about more than one man in pious robes. It has been about the structures that protect the powerful, the followers who threatened, the disciples who killed, the institutions that easily looked away for far too long. A 16-year-old girl alone in a room with a man her parents actually called God. She told the truth, and for that truth, her family endured years of fear, threats, and uncertainty. He is a convicted rapist. He has been sentenced to 20 years in prison. And yet, since his conviction in 2017, he has walked out of jail 16 times. On Tuesday morning at 6:30 a.m., Gurmeet Ram Rahim Singh, Dera Sacha Sauda chief, self-styled messenger of God, and inmate number 1997 of Rohtak Suneria jail, stepped out yet again, this time on 30 days of parole. For 9 years, a jail gate has meant very little to this man. And we ask the question that millions of Indians are asking. Is the law the same for everyone? Or does it come with exceptions for the powerful, like Gurmeet Ram Rahim? Gurmeet Ram Rahim Singh built something rare, a spiritual empire that was also a political machine. The Dera Sacha Sauda, headquartered in Sirsa in Haryana, has an estimated 50 to 60 million followers spread across Punjab, Haryana, Rajasthan, and beyond. It runs schools, hospitals, and rehabilitation centers. It produces films starring Ram Rahim himself in flamboyant, sequined costumes. It holds rallies that fill stadiums. And it delivers votes, block votes, entire constituencies that swing to whichever political party the Dera endorses. Over the decades, virtually every major political party, whether it is the BJP, the Congress, or the Akali Dal, has quoted Ram Rahim. Ministers have visited Deras, politicians have met him, leaders have sought his blessings. The political class looked away when they should have looked closer. Because behind the spectacle of devotion, the satsang, the charity work, the film productions, two women were living with a secret that would take 15 years to reach a courtroom. But even today, the struggle for their justice continues. In 9 years of imprisonment, Gurmeet Ram Rahim Singh has spent a remarkable amount of time outside the prison. It started with a single day of parole in October 2020. Then another day in May 2021. Then the gates began to open wider and for longer stretches. 21 days, then 30 days, then 40 days, even 50 days, parole after parole, furlough after furlough. The count 16 times since his conviction in 2017. One day in 2020, one day in 2021, a 20-day furlough in February 2022, 3 more releases in 2022 alone, 4 releases in 2023, 3 in 2024, 3 releases in 2025, and now in 2026, he has already been granted parole twice, 40 days in January and now 30 more days beginning May 26th. By even conservative arithmetic, Gurmeet Ram Rahim Singh, a man sentenced to 20 years for rape, has spent hundreds of days outside jail since 2017. Each release, the same police convoy, the same route to the Sirsa Dera, the same crowds waiting to receive him, and each release, the same questions from his victims and from the public at large. Why? The opposition has not stayed silent this time. Shiromani Akali Dal leader and former Punjab cabinet minister Bikram Singh Majithia has been among the most vocal critics of the Haryana government's repeated decisions to grant this parole.
ਭਗਵੰਤ ਮਾਨ ਨੂੰ ਇਹਦੇ ਵਾਸਤੇ ਜਵਾਬ ਦੇਣਾ ਪੈਣਾ ਕਿ ਉਸ ਨੂੰ ਉਹਦੇ ਖਿਲਾਫ ਕੇਸ ਕਿਉਂ ਨਹੀਂ, ਉਹਨੂੰ ਪ੍ਰੋਟੈਕਸ਼ਨ ਕਿਉਂ ਦੇ ਰਹੀ ਹੈ। ਭਾਜਪਾ ਨੂੰ ਵੀ ਤੇ ਭਗਵੰਤ ਮਾਨ ਨੂੰ ਇਹ ਰਲ ਮਿਲ ਕੇ ਰਾਮ ਰਹੀਮ ਲਈ ਸਪੈਸ਼ਲ ਪ੍ਰਿਵਿਲੇजेस ਇੱਕ ਕੈਦੀ ਦੇ ਰੂਪ 'ਚ ਦਿੱਤੇ ਜਾ ਰਹੇ, ਜਿਹਦੇ 'ਚ ਮਿਲੀ ਭੁਗਤ ਹਰਿਆਣਾ ਸਰਕਾਰ ਦੀ ਤੇ ਪੰਜਾਬ ਸਰਕਾਰ ਦੀ ਵੇਖਣ ਨੂੰ ਮਿਲ ਰਹੀ।
Majithia also targeted Punjab Chief Minister Bhagwant Singh Mann, questioning why strict action has not been taken against Ram Rahim in cases which are registered in Punjab and alleging collusion between the two state governments. The Haryana government has offered no public response. The parole orders continue to keep coming. But let's look at this entire sordid saga now of how a godman was brought down from his pedestal. It began not with a police complaint. It began with a letter, anonymous, unsigned, sent directly to the Prime Minister of India. In 2002, an anonymous letter landed on the desk of then Prime Minister Atal Bihari Vajpayee. Its author, a woman, a sadhvi, a follower who had been brought to the Dera by her own parents, wrote that Gurmeet Ram Rahim Singh had raped her repeatedly and threatened her with consequences if she ever spoke. She wrote that she was not alone, there were others. The letter triggered a Supreme Court order directing the CBI to investigate. But Ram Rahim's political connections ran deep. For 5 years, the investigation barely moved. It took a decade and a half of persistence by investigators, by survivors, and by one journalist who refused to stay silent. Ramchandra Chhatrapati ran a small newspaper in Sirsa. He published the anonymous letter. He reported on the crimes that powerful people did not want reported. In November 2002, gunmen shot him outside his own home. He died of his injuries. In 2019, a CBI court convicted Ram Rahim of ordering that murder and sentenced him to life imprisonment. Though the Punjab and Haryana High Court later acquitted him of that charge in March 2026. But the rape case held. 2 survivors had testified. The CBI had built its case. And in August 2017, the moment of reckoning arrived. On August 25, 2017, a special CBI court in Panchkula delivered its verdict. Guilty. Gurmeet Ram Rahim Singh was convicted of the rape of 2 women disciples. 3 days later, he was sentenced to 20 years of rigorous imprisonment. But the sentence came at a cost that India had not been prepared for. In the hours before and after the verdict, approximately 2 lakh of Ram Rahim's followers had descended on Panchkula. When the conviction was announced, the crowd turned. Vehicles were set on fire. Government buildings were torched. Railway stations were attacked. Media vans were burned. The streets of Panchkula, Sirsa, and parts of Punjab descended into chaos. When the smoke cleared, at least 28 people were dead. Over 250 were injured. The Indian Army had to be deployed. 6 columns of soldiers moved into Panchkula, 2 more into Sirsa. Ram Rahim himself was airlifted by helicopter to Suneria jail in Rohtak, where he has been lodged ever since, but theoretically. 20 years. That is what a court of law decided was the appropriate price for what Gurmeet Ram Rahim Singh did to 2 women who trusted him as a spiritual guide. 16 paroles, hundreds of days outside prison, a dera that keeps receiving him, a government that keeps signing the orders. The women who testified against him, who took on one of the most powerful religious empires in northern India, did not do so for this. India has a rape law. It appears India also has a parole system that can make that law look optional. If you have enough followers, you're powerful enough, and enough friends are in the right places. That's all we have for you in today's episode of Postmortem. It's time for a short break now. You keep watching India Today.